Hello world, it's 11:30 in the morning. It's the 28th of January 2014 and I'm looking at the upcoming Mercury retrograde chapter 97 because this always gets like this, you know. We always feel the Mercury retrograde strongest in the week before, but there's so many different facets to this Mercury retrograde that it's worth looking at it in detail. Not so much about individual areas that it's affecting, but individual timings. This week now, Mercury as we speak is about to move into Pisces. It's not there quite yet. It moves into Pisces, I don't know, a couple of days' time, 2 or 3 days' time. As it does so, it begins to conjunct Neptune. And it will stay conjunct Neptune then for a couple of weeks in early Pisces. And Mercury in Pisces on its own, let alone retrograde, is quite a nebulous concept when it comes to lucidity and clarity of communication. And when it's conjunct Neptune, this is going to amplify the potential for misunderstandings, for gullibility, for escapism, for cloud and fog and treacle and quicksand. And then Mercury's going to retrograde back into Aquarius, where actually it's a bit more comfortable. And I would suggest that by mid-February, the degree of uncertainty is going to stop occurring at the day-by-day level, and instead we'll be dealing with the repercussions of the first couple of weeks of February. And retrograde Mercury in Aquarius in the second half of February is going to be a time of ironing out the creases, of getting the facts straight, of sorting things out so that there are no further potentials for further misunderstanding or communication breakdowns to come in. And when Mercury stands still at the end of February, it's standing still around 18, 19 degrees of Aquarius, square Saturn. So it starts the retrograde process for 2 weeks, conjuncting Neptune, and it ends the retrograding process the last week of the retrograde, and the first week after that, Mercury will be square Saturn. Saturn is in mid-Scorpio now, and it's moving into late Scorpio and even early Sagittarius at the end of this year. Neptune is in early Pisces, and starting at the end, a year from now, will be the start of a 9 to 10 month Saturn-Neptune square in early Sagittarius, Pisces. And it may well be that events of the coming 4 to 5 weeks, both personally and globally, are kind of forerunners and foretasters of events that will either amplify and expand or be triggered during 2015. I think in many ways this next month is a time of throwing fishing lines into the future, and problems that are specified and isolated in the coming month and not dealt with, pushed back in the cupboard or under the carpet, will erupt big time in major neurotic problems of destructure come January, February next year. I'm not that looking forward to Saturn in Sagittarius, to be honest, because it's Jupiter's sign. So I prefer Saturn in Scorpio. Perhaps I'm biased because that's my position. It seems that if I were to try and summarise this Mercury retrograde, it does seem that as of a couple of days' time, as of Thursday, Friday this week, we're heading into a 2-week period where the potential for misunderstanding and communication breakdown is big. Probably the biggest of the year. As I say, the second half of the month will be ironing it out when Mercury's going retrograde in Aquarius. But then as it approaches Saturn, there'll be a kind of realization period where you think, okay, this just can't go on. There's got to be changes. And if you're someone who's got a lot of stuff around 15 to 20 of the fixed signs, then not only are you someone who's been affected quite strongly over the last decade, but this Mercury retrograde will in many ways start closing permanent doors for you. As this Mercury retrograde fades away, as we get into the second and third week of March, it's going to free up a lot. It's going to unblock a big logjam. There's going to be plugs pulled. There's going to be a lot of clarity suddenly dawning. And all of a sudden, we'll be faced with the Grand Cross in April. I repeat what I've said a number of times in recent videos, and what I find myself saying daily now, if I'm seeing perhaps 3 or 4 clients a day on average at the moment, then at least 1 or 2 of them each day I'm saying, look, by the time you're into late April, early May, mid-May, but this period of time, you're going to find that 80 to 85% of the challenges of 2014 are over. And because I'm seeing it so much in individual horoscopes, I can't help but conclude that this is the way it is for the planet as well, at least for the next few months. So, onward, to quote one of my good friends. And probably best not to make any new long-term decisions, actions, or specific choices in the next couple of weeks. All right, catch you later. Bye.